From the big screen in the movie industry where we had custom cars and finally went into the 60s in television. That means I'm going to be in every household on all these little TV shows. It's going to be so exciting. First one was Beverly Hillbillies. And that was kind of exciting too, because when the producer got a hold of me, he said, "George, I want a jalopy in Beverly Hills." "Where are you going to find a jalopy in Beverly Hills? You're not going to find it." I went over on the freeway and I went and buy a feed store, and there was an old 1922 Oldsmobile in there. It was cut up to make the haul hay. I went ahead and brought the photos into the producer, and I showed him what we could do to that old jalopy for Beverly Hillbillies. He said, "George, you got one thing you have to do." I said, "What's that?" "Got to put a rocking chair in the back for old Granny." I said, "We can do that." From there, we went into the Munsters. And that was exciting too, because the Munsters was a family of vampires and an exciting group. And I went ahead and took 3 Model Ts, 1925 Model Ts, and cut them up, and I made a 6-door Model T that handled that whole family, and as well as the little Butch Patrick up on the back part. From there, from the Munsters, then came the big one, Batman, in the 1960s. So I went to the producer and I said, "Let me see the script." And I looked at the script and I saw what he was doing. He was going pow, bang, wow. I said, "Well, you mean you're going to have all these things happening when Adam would talk and Bert?" "Yeah, we're going to do all these." I said, "Well, that's terrific. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Every time you do that, I'm going to have the car act too. When you go pow, I'm going to have rocket tubes go. Bang, I'm going to have chain slicers and oil squirters. So I'm going to make the Batmobile become a star, just like Adam West and Burt Ward." And that's true. The car began to act. And that's why it became the world's most famous cars.